Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, the former governor for Bungoma, Wycliff Wangamati, is a very angry man and very bitter with William Ruto. As a matter of fact, Wangamati is actually in shock and in disbelief because William Ruto betrayed him. For those who follow the politics of this country, last week, Cleophas Malala, who is the Secretary General of UDA party, led a delegation of loyal leaders to a meeting with William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, at Statehouse in Nairobi. That meeting caused serious political storm in Luhya politics because most people viewed it as a strategy to undermine and sabotage Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Masika Wetangula. And the meeting came just a few days before William Ruto embarked on a campaign tour of Bungoma and the entire Luhya nation, actually 5-day tour of the region. And Wangamati actually announced to the country that he was now joining UDA and Kenya Kwanza government. And Wangamati was expected to join William Ruto during his visit of Bungoma. But yesterday, he was shocked. Why was he shocked? Let me read for you a post which was made by one of his close allies, Wanjala Makanda. If you want to read the mind of Wangamati, get this gentleman. He's a good friend of mine. And after that meeting, he actually made a long post justifying, after a status meeting, that he will have no option but to follow Wangamati. And this is what he posted. He made this post yesterday, that Ruto will be in Bungoma today and tomorrow. He will be launching several projects, including the dual highway that connects Musikoma and Kandui, as well as this 35-bed hospital. All these projects were done by Governor Wycliff Wangamati within the short term he served, amidst court cases, sabotage, and political persecution by those who will be congregating here, laughing and clapping, basically suggesting that the current governor frustrated this project. And even if Ruto comes back in 2026, the only visible, viable projects he will launch are those done by Governor Wangamati 2017-2022. The rest of the storytelling by Bumbumbu continues shortly. From this post, I knew something was amiss because by this time, William Ruto had not gone to Bungoma. And then today, this is what he posted and tells you that Wangamati is actually better. And I want to explain to you guys why William Ruto actually locked out Wangamati. This is what he's saying. This is why I call him Bumbumbu. You happily launch a project that you did everything to frustrate and block. And you don't invite the person who delivered this signature project. So basically, according to him, this project was initiated and completed by the former governor, and that the current governor did not invite Wangamati. So, and it's continuing. Look at this enduring development delivered within 3 years by Governor Wangamati. Na hii Governor Bumbumbu, kazi yake ni Bumbumbu too. And he's sharing those photos of Ruto happily there with the Kenya Kwanza crew. So by the way, why do you think William Ruto is spending a lot of money across the country launching projects which were done long time ago? For me, I don't think it's necessary, unless you want to tell me that our president is that idle that he can go to Bungoma just to launch a hospital, which the governor would have actually launched. Because, for example, I want to assume that health is devolved. And it's also launching, William Ruto also went and launched a road which was constructed by the previous governor, which is shocking. And of course, William Ruto is keen on hijacking projects. But why do you think William Ruto locked out Wangamati despite the fact that he invited him to a meeting at Statehouse? That's exactly what I want us to do in this video. Before you do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to dive in. But before again that, allow me to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which I received earlier today. I'm so grateful. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on the screen. A cup of coffee only goes for 200, but you can make it more. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Ruto locked out Wangamati, despite the fact that he met with Wangamati at Statehouse, and after that meeting, they agreed that Wangamati was going to join Kenya Kwanza, particularly UDA party, and was going to be part of his team? The first reason why William Ruto never invited him, for me, I strongly believe that William Ruto really wanted to take credit for this project. If you've been following William Ruto's movement across the entire country, what he's been trying to do is that William Ruto is always keen on hijacking development projects so as he can align them with the national government. He wants, someone was telling me that what Ruto does is that he sits somewhere and plays phone calls to governor. Like, for example, assuming next week he'll be in, let's say, northern Kenya. He will place a call to governor, MP, boss, kuna project hapo naweza fungua. Then they go around, look for anything to be open. Then William Ruto will lead his delegation there. By doing that, William Ruto basically is keen on taking credit for most of the project. If Wangamati were to be present, probably those present there would have seen the face behind that project. So by locking out Wangamati, it means the face behind the project was nowhere to be seen. For me, that is good politics for Ruto, but again, at the same time, it's bad. And that's why I keep on blaming Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance for failing to have a clear communication strategy. For example, today they were in Busia. The next time they'll be in Bungoma, they would have actually highlighted the fallacy in this trip. So that's number one. Number two, something tells me that the failure to invite Wangamati to this meeting was as a result of that Statehouse meeting. The storm that Statehouse meeting caused was so huge. And people like Mudavadi and Weta did not take it rightly. Wangamati is a known opponent of Moses Wetangula. And of course, there is no way Mudavadi would have allowed Wangamati to be in Bungoma for this launch after Statehouse meeting. It would have been interpreted that Ruto is actually endorsing Wangamati. So for me, that's number two. Number three, in my view, I'm also certain that Ruto is not yet sure whether Wangamati has made the move, the decision to actually work with Kenya Kwanza. And because he's still not sure, because this guy just went to Statehouse the other day, he was told, okay, blah, blah, then there is no way he would have just gone there, because being a former governor, he was going to get the limelight, even the sitting arrangement, probably because of his high profile nature and having just served. So I tend to think that Ruto is not convinced after their meeting. I don't know what they discussed, but probably Ruto is not convinced that this guy has actually resolved to work with me. Number four, in my view, I also tend to think that because of Ken Lusaka's failure, Ruto did not want Wangamati to be there. The truth of the matter is that if there's one governor who has failed terribly, is Governor Lusaka. In the first time he failed, this guy voted him out. Because of UDA, he came back. That is the fact. He is now the governor. He joined Ford Kenya Kwanza, then he was able to win. Back to his normal ways. If you go through his Facebook page, you'll be shocked that this guy is operating like a tourist from one town to another, one county to another, one country to another. And probably he doesn't have anything tangible. But Ruto had to go to Bungoma. So they had to look for projects. And lastly, if you ask me, there is also the possibility that Wangamati has regained some popularity. You know, Wangamati was never re-elected just because of the fact that he fell out with his party, which was Ford Kenya. I'm sure if he had stuck with Ford Kenya, he would be serving his second term today. So his popularity is still intact. And coupled with the failure of the current governor, these guys feared that if he was going to be given the platform, just to spend, say, greet people, he was going to point out, oh, you know, mimi nilikuwa governor, nimetengeneza hii, it's now time ya huyu jamaa pia, let him show us what he has done. I don't know what you think. That's my take, but I'm coming back with another video, so don't miss it out. I want to respond to that statement by Atwoli that there is no way Raila Odinga and Azimio brigades can defeat Ruto in 2027. That 2027 election is actually one which is done and dusted. Until that time, please, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.